Today I'm going to be talking about autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles are cars or trucks that do not need to be operated by humans through means of sensors and software control to navigate and drive. Now there are no legal, fully operating autonomous vehicles, however, there are partials such as lane assist to prototypes. Autonomous vehicles testing dates back to the early 1920s, while trials started around 1950. In 1977, the first truly autonomous vehicle was created in Japan. The vehicle featured a set of two cameras that took in the street markers and were interpreted by a single analog computer. The vehicle reached speed of 19 miles per hour before the testing was finished. In 1984, prototypes for these vehicles were being tested in Europe. With a combined investment of $843 million, Mercedes-Benz was able to create an autonomous vehicle by 1985 and added obstacle avoidance in 1986 and nighttime driving in 1987. Testing for autonomous vehicles started in the U.S. in 1991 with an investment of $650 million. This was done to try and create safer conditions for drivers in the U.S. In 1995, the Carnegie Mellon University NavLab was able to drive 2,797 miles across the U.S., while around 50 miles a driver was needed for a total of 2,848 miles. The program ended in 1997 as a success, but no direct funding and direction. The project was forgotten. Autonomous vehicles operate with two primary IT components, hardware and software. With hardware, there are sensors, vehicle-to-vehicle, and vehicle-to-infrastructure for communication. An autonomous vehicle can carry different types of sensors, such as GPS, LiDAR, and radar, each functioning differently to analyze the environment around it. In addition, it has vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-infrastructure to transmit information in and out about the environment around it. And finally, actuators are parts of the vehicle that control and move the system. As the hardware transmits information and operates the vehicle, software takes in the information about the environment and performs the appropriate action. It is broken down into three systems: perception, planning, and control. Perception is practically the vehicle decoding the message it receives from the environment. Planning is the vehicle's ability to know what to do in the situation, and control is the action of the vehicle responding in its environment. In 2015, 15.5 million U.S. workers were employed in occupations that could be affected to varying degrees by the introduction of automated vehicles. It is predicted that autonomous vehicles will take part in eliminating jobs and creating a demand for a new set of skills. There's very large amounts of industries that rely on motor vehicles for transportation, with over $300 billion in future business investments for new motor vehicles. Thus, this will impact how business transport goods and services, their policies on safety, their costs, their reputation, their labor force, and others. The cost of autonomous vehicles tangled from one company to another. An autonomous shuttle provider called Easy Mile charges $27,000 a month for their services, and Drive.ai charged for their shuttle service $14,000 per month. The state of Rhode Island alone pays upward of $800,000 a year for their shuttle services as well. Companies that sell autonomous vehicles include Tesla and Cadillac. Tesla provides an autopilot feature for an added cost of $3,000 and a self-driving feature for an extra $5,000, making the total price for their car between $88,000 to $98,000. Cadillac's Super Cruise car includes the added self-driving feature for $5,000, making it a total upwards of $72,000. A benefit of self-driving cars would include lower fuel consumption. It has been proven that hard braking wastes fuels in cars. Autonomous vehicles reduce the need for sudden jerks in movement because they are wired to know what the car ahead of them is going to do. Another benefit is improve the mobility for elderly and the disabled. It provides them a mode of transportation that fits their needs. One of the last benefits is some believe there would be fewer accidents with autonomous vehicles navigating the road. A study found that if 10% of all vehicles were self-driving, 211,000 accidents would be prevented annually. This would also ensure that the economic cost of accidents would be reduced by more than $20 billion. One of the number one risks of self-driving cars is vehicle hacking malfunctions. Any skilled hacker could make the vehicle steer or accelerate if they wanted to do so. This could prove dangerous for the passenger and anyone in incoming traffic. Also, any malfunction from the car could lead to accidents as well. Another risk of autonomous vehicles is the increased exposure to radiation. Consistent exposure can lead to headaches, eye issues, exhaustion, and subsequently to infection. Autonomous vehicles are high-tech and need certain functions in order to operate, and these functions could ensue some health issues. In 2014, Tesla Motors released its first automated vehicle, which could drive and park by itself. In 2016, the technology was upgraded, allowing for the use of LiDAR, which is a form of radio signaling, so the vehicle can see in front of it even in low light conditions. According to Tesla's most recent safety report, it showed that in a Tesla vehicle, people encountered an accident or crash-like event once every 3.34 million miles, compared to once every 492,000 miles in a non-automated vehicle. This is a huge jump from the average, as Tesla vehicles are equipped with the technology to allow the vehicle to take action before a human could. With the future implementation of autonomous vehicles, the future is looking bright. As autonomous vehicles run on electricity instead of gasoline, this would eliminate the need for non-renewable resources and help cut on emissions that are harmful to the planet. As technology improves, safety measures will continue to get better and better. Hopefully, at some point, fully autonomous vehicles will eliminate accidents altogether because humans are the problem here. Thus, many industries would begin to change because of the autonomous vehicles. For example, trucking would no longer need humans to drive thousands of miles at a time, and taxis would be fully automated. Thank you very much.